Recently, I just finished watching the show Manifest. In the show, the character has this thing called the callings, which are the feelings, the voices, and the vision they have that guides them to undertake a certain action. But how similar or different are these calling compared to real life? In this video, I thought it would be fun for me to compare what I experienced as an intuitive empath with the show Manifest. There will be a little bit of spoilers here and there, so if you haven't watched the show and you don't wish to be spoiled, then you may want to pause the video right now. If not, let's dive in.
Slower. Slower. Excuse me, can you slow down? Excuse me.
Do I come to your work and tell you how to do your job?
Slower. Slow down now!
How'd you see him coming? Lady!
This is the first calling in the show. This scene actually got me to start watching the show. I was like browsing Netflix and I saw this trailer of Mick like having this voice in the head, and it didn't resonate with me. Similar to my experience, I also hear voices. The previous video on my spiritual awakening, I had this calling to write. It's like your own voice, but it's not your thinking. This voice usually come out of nowhere, like when you're sitting on the bus, taking a shower, or just walking on the streets. What's different from the show and what I receive is that my calling are mostly about myself. It's not about saving someone else. It's also not that dramatic. The voice isn't that fierce. It's usually very calm but firm. Sometimes it can be fun and playful too. It depends on whether you're receiving downloads from the higher self or the divine consciousness. So for example, one day I was just doing meditation and I heard a voice that says strawberry. And I was like, why strawberry? Then I ignore it and I continue to do my meditation. It says strawberry, blueberry, whatever kinds of berry, you have been eating too much nuts. Then I realized that this is a message from my higher self. It knows that I've been eating too much nuts because at the time I was trying to gain weight, and to balance it off, it is actually telling me to eat more strawberries. But I don't usually call these things callings. I usually call them intuitions or guidance or messages from the universe.
We're supposed to follow the callings. That's all you had to do. These bastards would have died in that meth lab explosion like they were supposed to, and Cal would be home.
Yeah, maybe he would, but now we have to...
No, not maybe. I told you. All other paths lead to disaster. You didn't listen.
Listen to what Ben let him go. I am sick to my stomach, but it didn't make sense.
You didn't want it to make sense.
How could I, Ben? That is a voice in my head telling me to let Zeke die or to let 3 scumbag drug dealers go. That's not a voice I want to listen to.
We don't have a choice.
If we have zero control over what we do, then what was the point of us coming back in the first place?
This is the point. All of this was dumped in my lap and yours. We were chosen. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I do know the only way for any of us to survive is to do what the callings want. And I am scared to death because you didn't, that it's too late.
But we almost got it.
But we didn't!
This scene is so relatable. Sometimes we just don't want to follow the calling for whatever reason we may have. It may be our logical mind, it may be because our fear of following the callings. This is the debate about whether we have a choice or control over what we do, or do we just have to follow the callings and be like the puppets on the string? In the show, they have to follow the callings or they will die. But in real life, we have a choice whether we want to follow this calling or not. So 3 things here. 1, if you don't act on your calling, it will be given to someone else. For example, you have a great idea for a book or a song, and if you don't write it or if you don't execute it, somebody else will get the same idea. This is exactly like the show where the calling is given to several people. If the universe want to manifest something, it will call on several people. It's called diversification. It will not put all the eggs into one basket. Number 2, it's not because you didn't follow your calling, that's why you have negative consequences. The universe is just pointing you towards an easier path. It's not telling you what to do. It's suggesting to you what to do. You always have a choice. You can choose a path that has more pain and struggle. Like in my strawberry example, I can don't listen to that voice and don't eat strawberry or any berries. Then maybe I will just get constipation. And when I get constipation, I will know that I need to eat more fruits. Number 3, if you don't act on your calling, sometimes it can get persistent. I didn't watch the show immediately. I put it aside because it's like 4 seasons long and I don't like binge watching and I don't like cliffhanger. What if the show get cancelled? I'll be so devastated. But something just keep calling me to watch the show. I just feel like I had to watch it, and so I started watching it. Then my brothers joined me. It turned out to be one of my favorite Netflix shows. The cast are amazing, their acting skills are believable, and they have great chemistry with one another. What's more is that there are just enough hooks to keep you watching the next episode, but there is also mini conclusion after each episode. So I didn't binge watch. I watched a few episodes each weekend over 3 to 4 months.
The death date isn't just for the passengers. It's for everyone.
It's for all. It's the whole world. We're all gonna die.
In the show, the callings are usually visual and auditory and gets more and more dramatic as the series progresses. In reality, it depends on what type of intuitive you are. For me as an empath too, I'm more of a clairsentient, which means I feel my callings. In season 3, when Angelina appeared, I'm like, this lady give me the bad vibes. I don't know why. I have claircognizance and clairaudience too. So sometimes I know the future or I hear my callings too, but it's not as common as feeling. I don't usually get visual callings like what the clairvoyants would get. They are able to see auras and energetic fields, which I don't. Of course, for a TV show like Manifest, they are going to use more images and sound to show the audience what the character is going through. It's more interesting this way. However, the big difference is that my callings are not that dramatic. I don't shake or get into trance or gasp for air when I get out of a calling, right? So when an intuitive person gets a calling, people around them cannot tell. It is very subtle. You can see it from my face unless you are very sensitive.
Set them free. 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 Set them free.
What the hell are you doing? Michaela, stop! Michaela!
One of the big things I resonate with this show is when the show shows that the characters have different interpretation of the calling. The callings are often fake, leaving the characters to find out what it means. Like in this scene, Mick thought that set me free means freeing the dogs, but actually it's about freeing the kids. And the calling is super vague. It doesn't give you a detailed direction or instruction on where to find the kids. Everyone has some form of intuition, but sometimes when we follow our intuition and it turns out to be inaccurate, we are like start to doubt. But it's not that the intuition isn't accurate, it's our interpretation that is inaccurate. And since the interpretation can vary according to the people, this is also very important why we shouldn't just blindly follow a spiritual leader, even if they have good intention. It is always best to double check with your intuition and see whether it resonates with you or not.
I can't even begin to imagine what it's like to have a parent ripped away from you at your age.
Then why are you talking?
Because I know what it's like to lose a sibling. And I know how easy it is to lose yourself after such a profound tragedy.
My entire life has been torn apart. You know, I'm supposed to be some college kid running late to whatever 101s and going to a bunch of parties with lots of my friends. Instead, I'm here. I'm here playing parent to the brother that has completely destroyed my life. Because I have no idea when my dad is gonna get his back on track. You really know all that?
I know this. You still have people that love you. People who remember the real you. Loving, warm, compassionate. Maybe we just need to reintroduce ourselves. Come on. I'm Zeke Landon. Did you feel that?
Yeah. I feel different. What did you do?
I don't know. That's the first time I've ever felt something like that.
Well, whatever just happened. Thank you.
In season 3, after surviving the death date, Zeke started to have empath ability. So I'm not a physical empath. I'm more of an emotional empath and an intuitive empath. I don't feel other people's physical pain. But when I watch TV shows where they show pain or injury or accident, or shows like The Good Doctor cutting the patient and doing the surgery, I was like, don't show it to me please, I don't want to see. Empath can feel other people's pain, but when it comes to absorbing other people's pain, like how Zeke absorbs Cal's illnesses, I'm not sure if empath can really do that or not. I know that personally I can't. Rather than saying absorb, I prefer to use the word matching other people's emotions. It's not like someone is in pain and I absorb their pain, I take their pain, and now they're free of pain. I don't think it works this way. Tell me in the comment section below if you are a physical empath, do you take away other people's pain or both of you end up feeling pain? I'm kind of curious to know. Because for an emotional empath, I don't absorb other people's emotion. I just match their emotion. And because I understand other people's emotions so well, they feel safe to express their emotion with me. And when they express their emotion, they feel a release of their emotion. And that's why their mood gets uplifted. However, it's not like the show manifests. It's not like I shake your hands and you don't feel grief anymore and now the grief is transferred to me. If I talk to a depressed person and I wasn't able to offer any insights to them or elevate their mood, then there will just be two depressed people. I feel your pain, but I don't take away your pain. We just feel the pain together. And when I'm truly grounded, I will understand your emotion, know what you're feeling, but I won't match your emotion. If you're an empath and you match other people's emotion too easily, watch this video here to learn how you can be more grounded. And if you are intuitive like me or you want to learn more about developing your intuition, subscribe to the channel over here.